Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. I hope that you are doing fine. So today we will proceed to the second part under Dr. Mahathir Premiership, whereas we will look into the topic of Mahathir and politics. Okay, so the Premiership of Mahathir telah menunjukkan beberapa usaha beliau dalam mengukuhkan kuasa eksekutif in which there are several incidents and issues that happened during his premiership. So the first incident or issues are the constitutional crisis, whereas pada zaman itu Mahathir ada buat confederation with yang di Pertuan Agong and other Malay rulers. So nak dibandingkan Mahathir dengan previous prime minister meletakkan tak setia dan akur kepada Agong and the rulers walaupun ada berlaku ketidaksefahaman, especially dalam batikan Menteri Besar. But Mahathir, dia tak. So during that time, Mahathir are unpleasant with the special right given to the ruler, such as their protection from punishment if they do any wrongdoing. Kiranya pada zaman itu, the Malay rulers tak terikat dengan federal constitution lah. For example, the sensitive issue occurs by the Sultan of Johor during that time. More than that, Mahathir tak berkenan bila Malay ruler interfere in appointment of chief minister dan penganugerahan royal titles lah. So Mahathir dia nak reform the constitution. So in 1983, Mahathir challenge the ruler dengan melakukan pindaan ataupun amendment terhadap federal constitution. So Mahathir dia start dengan hantar 22 amendment of constitution and propose it supaya after 15 hari the amendment akan auto gazette jika tak dapat royal assent. So antara proposal yang diutarakan oleh Mahathir adalah kuasa untuk declare emergency ataupun darurat dipindahkan kuasanya kepada Perdana Menteri so that the Prime Minister yang akan berkuasa untuk isytihar darurat. So this amendment telah ditentang oleh opposition party such as DAP, which is led by Lim Kit Siang. But amendment ini telah berjaya diluluskan hasil daripada two-third majority vote in Parliament. So hasil daripada two-third vote majority ni, the royal jadi marah lah and dia melengah-lengahkan the royal assent lah. So after that, the Mahathir telah dipanggil oleh ruler untuk settle this issue. Another royal issue adalah between Mahathir and Sultan Kelantan, whereby he is the brother-in-law of Tunku Razali Hamzah ataupun Kuli. So Sultan Kelantan during that time dia interfere in politics and dia show his support to PAS as well as Semangat 46. So bukan sahaja dia tunjukkan support kepada kedua-dua parti opposition, dia also critics UMNO. So according to norms or tradition, Sultan tak boleh interfere with politics, but what happened? Sultan Kelantan break the tradition. Apart from that, Mahathir juga tak puas hati dengan involvement of Sultan dalam business. So as a Menteri Kewangan during that time, Anwar Ibrahim presented a memorandum of complaint to the ruler in 1992. However, this memorandum tidak memberi kesan apa-apa. Cuma dia nak tunjuk yang the government are unsatisfied dekat ruler. So due to the cases of Sultan Johor dengan hoki coach bernama Gomez, the government telah menghapuskan beberapa privilege yang dimiliki oleh Sultan, such as timber concession, duty free, luxury cars and preferential shares. So after that, the Sultan and Malay ruler agreed to give up their legal immunity dengan syarat any offences must be tried in special convened royal court. So another issue is the UMNO split. So this happened when some of UMNO members tak setuju terhadap apa yang Mahathir buat, as diorang rasa yang Mahathir telah disloyal kepada Malay ruler. Dan diorang tentang dan tak setuju dengan apa yang Mahathir buat. So what Mahathir do? Dia buang semua orang yang tak support dia during the crisis with royal, termasuklah beberapa orang ministers, members of cabinet and many more such as Ghazali Shafi'i and Aisyah Ghani lah. So another crisis happened during Mahathir premiership adalah the crisis against the judiciary. So judiciary that time adalah independent, which mean dia tidak terpengaruh oleh executive maupun legislative. So judiciary is a political, which means it is free from political influence. So judiciary adalah important in ensuring check and balance in the ruling government. Tapi Mahathir dia tak suka di independent or kebebasan yang dimiliki oleh judiciary. Mahathir rasa the power yang ada pada court ataupun judges tu mengganggu leadership dia sebab dia tak mahu his decision diganggu oleh orang. So sebab during that time hakim ni dia dilantik oleh Yang di-Pertuan Agong. So ingat tak previous lecture saya kata Mahathir ni dia sentiasa rasa apa yang dia buat tu betul. So previously segala amendment yang dibuat dekat parlimen tu perlu diluluskan oleh judiciary. So Mahathir nampak yang itu telah mengurangkan the power of parliament lah. Okay, as I said earlier, antara isu with the constitutional crisis adalah Article 66 of Federal Constitution which state the power of IDPA in appointing Prime Minister, resolution of Parliament and declaration of state of emergency. So Mahathir nak transfer the power to declare state emergency kepada Prime Minister as well as dia nak abolish the power of YDPA lah. So due to that, the royal assent has no longer necessary to complete the legislative process. So the election of New Agong in 1984, pada masa tu Sultan Johor ni dia dilantik as Yang di-Pertuan Agong. So bila kita tahulah Mahathir dengan Sultan Johor ni dia memang tak ngam lah, tak rapat, ada je hala. So Mahathir start untuk diungkit hal-hal yang berlaku such as the sensitive issue of murder by the Johor Royals and so on lah. So the resolution is by repealing 1983 Amendment, Article 150 and Amendment Act 66 of Federal Constitution. So what happened? Agong would have 30 days to assent to non-money bills or return the bill to Parliament. Any bill reconsidered and approved again Parliament will automatically become law after another 30 days if not given royal assent. So this results to the incompatibility between feudal institution as well as to the growth of middle class, whereas the Malay rulers has no utmost power to interfere in any decision made by the Parliament. The Battle of UMNO, 1987. So as I tell you previously, berlaku lagi perpecahan ataupun berlaku lagi puak-puak dalam UMNO, whereas ada Puak Mahathir bersama Ghaffar Babur and Puak Tunku Razali and Musa Hitam lah. So mereka berebut untuk jawatan Presiden and Vice President. So at this time, Mahathir gunakan sokongan dari orang-orang yang loyal to him, yang ada connection to him, especially the chief minister as well as school teachers yang sokong dia. So that is how he won the presidency seat. However, ada timbul isu where the election is void sebab dia main tipu. Kiranya during that time ada few delegation yang support Mahathir ni sebenarnya tak wujud pun, and this case brings into the High Court. So berlakulah rebel and UMNO diharamkan. So berlaku dua puak lagi, the old guard of UMNO nak maintain UMNO sedia ada with the slogan Semangat 46, but Mahathir ni dia create new UMNO yang bertahan sampai sekarang, consisting of those yang loyal and pro Mahathir such as Anwar Ibrahim. So antara isu yang timbul adalah the criticism of government big project yang diberikan kepada the Malay elites yang ada proxy dengan UMNO. So the UMNO members ramai yang tak sokong as they wanted it to be fair. So since that loyalty to parties dah berkurangan and ada puak-puak. So impact pun saya dah cerita, UMNO declared as illegal and Mahathir established new UMNO and registered this as Pertubuhan Kebangsaan Melayu Bersatu Baru and popularly refers as UMNO baru lah. So UMNO sekarang ini adalah UMNO baru yang ditubuhkan oleh Mahathir. So UMNO lama ditukar menjadi 1946 and later have connection with PAS. Okay, the judiciary. So as an issue of democracy, we will see how the judiciary, a component of the system untuk check and balance on how the government are operating, feel that they are being downgraded during the premiership of Mahathir. The independent atau kebebasan judiciary ini kadang-kadang dirasakan mengganggu keputusan yang Mahathir akan buat. As a person yang tak suka share power dengan sesiapa, Mahathir tak suka dengan judges yang ada kuasa sama macam dia. But dia tak boleh sesuka hati pecat judges lah. Sebab judges ni dia appointed oleh Yang di-Pertuan Agong on the advice of Prime Minister. So during that time, judges ada diorang punya speciality, immunity yang tidak disenangi oleh Mahathir. So apa yang terjadi adalah beberapa case such as the foreign journalist case, injunction against United Engineering Malaysia, grant of habeas corpus to ISA detainee and so on against the government punya kehendak. So setiap kes boleh dikatakan majority kes tidak menyebelahi kepada government lah. So that time also court dia ada power untuk bubal ataupun tolak any rang undang-undang yang diusulkan oleh parlimen. And banyak yang ditolak masa zaman Mahathir. So Mahathir ni dia rasa tak puas hati dan he attack the court sebab Mahathir rasa yang court sebenarnya sengaja masuk campur urusan politik. So impact dari these cases adalah the removal of the Lord President of Supreme Court lah, Tun Salleh Abbas and other several Supreme Court judges such as Tan Sri Azmi Kamaluddin, Tan Sri Yusof Abdul Kadir, Tan Sri Wan Hamzah, Tan Sri Wan Sulaiman, Pak Wan Teh and many more lah. Alasan dia adalah sebab misbehavior and misconduct. Sebab all of the judges ni dia telah been criticized by Mahathir sebab Tun Salleh Abbas dia ada write satu confidential letter kepada YDPA and Malay Ruler lah, menunjukkan yang dia tak puas hati dengan pemerintahan Mahathir lah. So more than that, the amendment of Federal Constitution where court will have no power anymore to review the rang undang-undang from the parliament lah. Okay, human right during Mahathir. So breaches of civil rights do not rise from a lack of government control of law and order. The issues is the government, including the Prime Minister, does not set a high priority on civil rights. The main priorities are economic development and stability. For Dr. Mahathir, human rights activists is a tool for foreign countries and organizations and also hindrance to economic development by endangering stability. There is no issue of using physical force except for certain political arrests or manipulating ballot boxes during election. But the government has many advantages just by being the government. So the government parties own media and the media is controlled by the government. So for the constraint on civil rights, many of the instruments that constrains human rights in Malaysia have their legal basis in the declaration of a state emergency. After the declaration, the executive is given wide legislative powers which suspend most constitutional rights. Most of the power conferred it were transferred to the new acts such as Sedition Act. Okay, number 2, respect for person. So the most serious challenge to civil rights in Malaysia is through arbitrary arrest ataupun detention. So suspect can be detained without any charge being filed and without judicial review. So the Internal Security Act (ISA) is not just for security, as a majority of the detainees are forged who work for criminal syndicates. There are also several detainees from the political detainees. So during that time, we have Ops Lalang, Ops Sabah, Ops Servan, Ops Dalil, and Ops Militant that detain the detainee under the ISA. Okay, under the political right. So political right is basically concerned not only with the liberty of the person from damage or imprisonment, but the freedom of a person to associate with others. The government and association. Okay, so any association yang ada more than 7 members haruslah berdaftar dengan government as a society. So the government may refuse the application ataupun may register them subject to certain condition lah. Okay. For rights of assembly and association, by the constitution, this right may be limited in the interest of public order. The Police Act 1967 requires that permits are needed for all public meetings with the exception of workers on picket lines. So there are two aspects of right that are relevant politically. First is political rallies and campaigning. The second one is the involvement of government policy towards NGO and universities. So it is important to make sure that students will less political and limiting political activities and prevent them from joining and supporting political party. For the workers' right, so we have prohibition of national union in electronic industry. For example, the reason is they want to uphold the right of the workers lah, especially the electronic workers lah. So there are also legislation to interface with workers' right so that it may avoid any protest done on behalf of the workers. So Mahathir believes that workers need constant reminders of the economic facts of life. So in ensuring a favorable economic climate, Mahathir they keep on reminding that the people supaya people should not be too choosy about their jobs. So they must stop giving the impression that they are creating problems to their employers lah. Okay, for freedom of speech, okay, the media. The Constitution provides for freedom of speech and of the media, but also stipulates that this freedom may be restricted by legislation in the interest of security or public order. The principal instrument used adalah Sedition Act, which prohibits public comment on issues which has been defined as sensitive. So government dia boleh limit comment-comment from media, especially the press comment, if ada any sensitive issue ataupun crisis such as economic crisis yang arise lah. Okay, sama juga untuk election. During that time, Barisan Nasional telah menggunakan media as a tactic untuk take advantage untuk menang election during that time lah. Sebab during that time political party dia ada macam dia mengawal media masa lah. Okay, so Vision 2020. The objective of Vision 2020 is we hope that Malaysia will be a mature democratic society practicing a form of mature, consensual, community-oriented nation democracy that will be a model for many developing countries. Okay. We want to be fully developed in terms of national unity and social cohesion in terms of our economy, in terms of our social justice, political stability, system of government, quality of life, social and spiritual values, national pride and confidence. So there are 9 challenges in achieving the objective of Vision 2023. The first one is to establish a United Nation made up by one Bangsa Malaysia, creating a psychologically liberated, secure, and developed Malaysian society, fostering and developing a mature democratic society, establishing a fully moral and ethical society, establishing a mature, liberal, and tolerant society, establishing a scientific and progressive society, establish a fully caring society, to ensure an economically just society in which there is a fair and equitable distribution of the wealth of the nation. And the last one is establishing a prosperous society with an economy that is fully competitive, dynamic, robust, and resilient. So that's all for today. I hope that you'll be able to understand this topic. Okay, that's all. Thank you.